Today is May 30th, 2024. Our reflection is entitled Living Stones. Journey of Faith and Sight. First reading. 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 2-5, and 9-12. Beloved, like newborn infants, long for pure spiritual milk so that through it you may grow into salvation, for you have tasted that the Lord is good. Come to him, a living stone, rejected by human beings but chosen and precious in the sight of God, and, like living stones, let yourselves be built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. You are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people of his own, so that you may announce the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Once you were no people but now you are God's people. You had not received mercy but now you have received mercy. Beloved, I urge you as aliens and sojourners to keep away from worldly desires that wage war against the soul. Maintain good conduct among the Gentiles, so that if they speak of you as evildoers, they may observe your good works and glorify God on the day of visitation. Gospel. Mark chapter 10, verses 46-52. As Jesus was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a sizable crowd, Bartimaeus, a blind man, the son of Timaeus, sat by the roadside begging. On hearing that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. And many rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he kept calling out all the more, Son of David, have pity on me. Jesus stopped and said, Call him. So they called the blind man, saying to him, Take courage, get up, Jesus is calling you. He threw aside his cloak, sprang up, and came to Jesus. Jesus said to him in reply, What do you want me to do for you? The blind man replied to him, Master, I want to see. Jesus told him, Go your way, your faith has saved you. Immediately he received his sight and followed him on the way. In the first reading, we are called to grow in our spiritual lives like newborn infants craving pure spiritual milk. Peter describes believers as living stones being built into a spiritual house, a holy priesthood offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. He reminds us of our identity as a chosen race, a royal priesthood, and a holy nation, urging us to live exemplary lives among non-believers so that they may see our good deeds and glorify God. In the Gospel according to Mark, we encounter the story of Bartimaeus, a blind beggar, who calls out to Jesus for mercy. Despite being rebuked by the crowd, Bartimaeus persists, and Jesus responds to his faith by restoring his sight. Jesus tells him that his faith has made him well, and Bartimaeus immediately follows him on the way. This passage illustrates the power of faith and the transformative encounter with Jesus, who responds to our deepest needs. Both readings highlight themes of identity, transformation, and the call to live out our faith visibly. Peter's message encourages us to embrace our spiritual identity and live in a way that reflects God's glory, while the story of Bartimaeus demonstrates the profound change that faith in Jesus can bring. Today, I will reflect on my identity as a living stone in God's spiritual house, committing to grow in my faith and live a life that reflects His glory. I will seek opportunities to perform good deeds that can be a testimony to others, leading them to glorify God. Inspired by Bartimaeus' faith, I will call out to Jesus with my needs, trusting in His power to transform my life and following Him more closely each day. If you found this video meaningful, I invite you to show your support by hitting the like, subscribe and share button, as this will help us reach more people with these reflections. Together, we can create a community that seeks wisdom and spiritual growth.